All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain drama. We also talk about superstar news and injury updates and inactive statuses and stuff like that. From promotions from WWE to AEW to New Japan Professional Wrestling to the NWA, if it makes major headlines in the world of professional wrestling. We talk about it here on the show. So it's kind of reflecting what we talked about real quick. We talked about our WWE SmackDown review. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview as well. So now we're going to get into our third segment. We're going to talk about GCW pulling Zilla Fatu from all shows for the foreseeable future. So yeah, before we do that, want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat. You know, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears 1,010%. The show is keeping it all, it's all about keeping the conversation lively, making sure that your voice is, part of the mix. So don't be shy and drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat box? It's that $sign below the chat box there. Go ahead and type it in, send it in, and your message is guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to keep our to support our channel, guys. So your support, your super chats helps us keep the lights on, bring you guys even more awesome sports content that you guys love so much. We are absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep this party going. Make sure let's make this show bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome and together. We can do this. And if the super chat, once again, not your thing, you can hit up the gsmcpodcast.net, hit up that tips and donations link. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. So follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. So make sure, yeah, don't be shy. Drop in those thoughts, those chats, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be sick. All right, so we're going to talk about some Zilla Fatu being pulled from GCW. It's kind of ironic, especially at this time. For the foreseeable future, he could he be on his way to WWE sooner rather than later? I guess I heard from a source that he no showed at a GCW event. Maybe that kind of created a little bit of turmoil between trying to get out of your contract because he's still doing wonders right now at Booker T's promotion right now. I think he actually holds a title or two. So, he's right there. He's right there. And Jacob Fatu, he worked with not Rikishi. Jacob Fatu worked with Booker T as well before he debuted on the main roster. So it's a possibility, it's a possibility that he could be heading toward WWE. It does seem definitely fitting as a member of the Anoa'i family. There's no doubt come Survivor Series he will be part of the Civil War, joining Roman, Jimmy and Jay, Solo, Jacob, and so many more that obviously, you have Hikuleo as well, Lance Anoa'i still in the mix. It's, possibilities, man. Possibilities for this Civil War that just has wrestling fans at the edge of your seat. And then, it should be great. Should, obviously what WWE is trying to do with that storyline. I don't think it can fail at this point. I like the way the direction it's going. I honestly think that this is going to make a lot of future stars for the WWE for the foreseeable future, like Jacob Fatu right now. He's on fire. He's killing it. Tamatonga, Tongaloa, still needs a little work, maybe a little bit more of an adjustment. Kind of like what Rikishi said, that he feels like, Zilla Fatu could definitely be part of the mix in terms of the main roster, but you don't want to promote him too early because if he's promoted too early and he gives you, trash wrestling, misses his spots, misses his cue, can't cut a promo, you're kind of like this is exactly what you see with Tungaloa right now. No, he's receiving a lot of hate on in like the professional wrestling mainstream media, saying that he's like, he botches everything and he's not the best, he's not the best, but hopefully within time he does better because right now, Tamatonga, the way he is inside the ring, I like it. His mic skills, not too much. He did try to cut a promo on SmackDown, and Kevin Owens was like, "I don't think anyone's ever like cared about a word you said because the way he was talking, even for me, I was kind of like, all right, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he kept talking. I was like, all right, let's get to the point here. What's going on here? And then like I don't know, it was it was kind of crazy. It was kind of funny. But I feel like that'll work in time. A lot, like I said, I do have a lot of respect for Tamatonga. Tonga I feel like does need a lot of work. Jacob Fatu is like being a star. He's being a star. He's outshining Solo Sikoa, much like WWE did not want to do, but they decided to take off. They flew this plane off the runway, maybe a bit too early, but it had to happen eventually. You know what I mean? It had to happen eventually. So let it happen. Let's work out the kinks. Let's find out exactly what's going on, what's wrong. With the miscues and the botches that Tungaloa has had. Those are all fixable. Tamatonga's, Mike's skills is fixable as well. Solo Sikoa right now, his credibility shot. He can't win a singles match without help, which is obviously that's exactly what the heel role plays inside WWE because a lot of times you did see Roman Reigns only picking up the victory because he had help. He had he had his family, he had his boys, he had his right hand man, he had his enforcer. He also had Jimmy Uso. So obviously not the case anymore. Kind of crazy, but yeah. All right. So what GCW said, and I quote, in a message on Twitter, said, "We tried our best to avoid this situation, but we have reached an impasse. We wish him all the best." So it seems like right now they're kind of wiping Fatu off the plate, off the face of the earth in terms of game changing wrestling. His last match was September 15th. He defeated Gringo Loco. Fatu won the Reality of Wrestling Championship in WWE Hall of Famer Booker T's promotion back in August. Once again, kind of showing signs that he wants to be part of WWE. Every wrestler's dream is to kind of make it to the big stage, and I'm not trying to throw shade in any other wrestling promotion or anything like that because I like them all. I think they're all unique in their own way in New Japan Professional Wrestling, Stardom, the NWA, the GCW, TNA, NXT, AEW. Like they all have their unique way of attracting fans. So right now it's it's likely that he's probably going to make a debut at Survivor Series. Let's just say he does do that. Like let's just say that happens. Like I feel like um he'll be fine. I feel like he'll be fine. Like much to Rikishi's statement about him waiting a year. At this point, there's a lot of young talent on SmackDown right now that I don't think he would be the worst performer. Zilla would be definitely learning on a job. He's been impressive as hell. He definitely he comes from a wrestling family. Obviously the son of Umaga. He has a tattoo of him on his chest, which is actually kind of cool. I thought that was pretty badass. But just is it right? Is it the right time? That's all WWE is kind of like, kind of flirting with right now. Also, you do have, Hikuleo, has been, I think, not like he's been on the NXT roster, I guess, on the NXT internal roster, so he might start there, which I feel like would be great. I feel like if Zilla Fatu starts there as well, I feel like it'd be an absolute necessity. Young superstars, they need those reps. They need those practices. You know what I mean? Like, look at what happened with a lot of wrestlers that kind of skipped over and joined Raw or SmackDown, and then they just they didn't look good because they didn't really have any practice. Definitely within the women's division when Ronda Rousey debuted in WWE, is like, oh, her MMA background, she knows what she's doing. She'll be fine. Turns out that wasn't the case. She was hurting people inside the ring. She would miss her spots. She would miss her cues. It got to the point where like the other wrestler, whoever she faced, kind of had to, slow down the match, and you could tell she was slowed down while Ronda was just like go, 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 and like not really like kind of like paying attention to what she was actually supposed to be doing inside the match. But I don't know. It's not Ronda Rousey. If she would have started in NXT, I definitely think things would have been a lot better. Obviously, what she revealed about not liking Vince McMahon. Obviously, that's kind of unavoidable. Kind of aspect. So maybe would have done nothing. But who knows? Who knows? But if Zila and also Hikuleo start in NXT, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Them starting their own bloodline maybe would be pretty badass. Wouldn't hate on that idea. I think that I thought that'd be pretty cool. Fatu was performing at a GCW event in Cleveland, Ohio in August, the same time as SummerSlam. A lot of people saw him backstage. A lot of people thought it was going to be the time. A lot of people thought he was going to be, debuting on SummerSlam. Obviously, Roman Reigns, that's when he came back. And, a lot of stuff just floating around right now. There are no actual reports that GCW pulling Zilla Fatu is any indication that he signed with WWE officially. A lot of people kind of contemplate that he's going to, rejoin his tag team partner, his cousin Jacob Fatu, and join Solo Sikoa's bloodline. Or he makes it, or he joins Roman Reigns. Like it could possibly be that as well. He could be Roman Reigns' right hand man or his enforcer, either one of those. But definitely timing is of the essence with this. With Survivor Series, literally right around the corner. You have Bad Blood, you have Crown Jewel in November. You have about a stable like month and a half, essentially. Essentially you have a month and a half to kind of make things right, train this guy up as fast as you can if you want to make him a part of this bloodline civil war. Because if he's part of it, I guarantee you it's going to make it better. It's 1,010%. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. Right now, if you're WWE, like I said, you just got to assess the situation, find out if he's ready because you don't want to promote somebody too fast. Then again, if you wait, when you'd be like, damn, like he's great. He could have, debuted a Survivor Series and kind of added a little bit more meat to this Bloodline Civil War, which gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be pretty badass. All right, so that was our third segment. Now we're gonna jump on into our fourth segment. Will Nia Jax's her second title run, be cut short by the WWE? I honestly hope it doesn't. I think she's, she put in the work. She's putting the time in WWE, so I think WWE definitely owe her at least. I don't know. I think right now in the women's division, so we'll get into it. As soon as we come back from the break. So, hey, do not go anywhere.